Dallas Mccarver. The boards are all lit up right now because he's taking a little bit of heat. He went to Pittsburgh to make the pilgrimage to get the expert opinion of the president, Jim Mannion, and himself, his trainer, Chad Nichols, along with Aaron Singerman, were in the house. And I guess Dallas decided to show the Prez a sneak preview of what he looked like 3 weeks out. And some guys have been asking me my opinion on that appearance. I was pretty harsh with my criticisms about what I had to say about doing that. I remember I did the exact same thing Dallas Mccarver did for Jim Mannion, but I was working with Joe Weider, and I would make the 45-minute to an hour drive to Woodland Hills as I was preparing for the Mr. Olympias, the mini contests I competed in. He would like to see what I looked like, see what my progress was like, schedule photo shoots and the like, and I really appreciated his second opinion. So I made every attempt that when I went down there to see Joe Weider, that myself was professionally prepared. Definitely didn't want to have any food in my system. Definitely wanted to have my body shaved, have a resemblance of some color on, and give the guy something to look at, because I knew he had looked at Arnold Schwarzenegger and Robbie Robinson and, you know, the whole 9 yards. Lee Haney was living in Reseda and training with Rich Gaspari as he prepared for the Olympias back in the day. So I knew if I was going to pose for someone of Joe Weider's caliber, that I'd have to be professionally ready. And of course, Jim Mannion once in a while would like to see what some of the guys look like headed into some of those big shows, but it was always like a day or so before the Olympia. Here's Dallas 3 weeks out, makes the journey up there, and struggles profusely through this posing, hitting mandatory poses, and he was just uncomfortable, and he looked like he was in trouble. He was holding his stomach. He had some distension going on. He looked like he didn't want to be there, and all eyes were on him. I saw, Rico, and I saw Chad, and all the main players that were in his camp, and I felt for those guys watching Dallas struggle through what seemed to be very elementary poses for Jim Mannion. And I know that Jim Mannion, seeing the best of the best, could not have been all that happy about what he saw, even though Dallas 3 weeks out is still a front runner to win the Arnold Classic. I cannot take that away from the kid. I believe he was like 9th or 8th place, right behind Cedric at the Mr. Olympia contest. And he certainly has a big bite at the apple coming up in 2 weeks to win the contest. He can dry out, and he can get his body tanned, and he can work on his poses and be significantly different than he was last week in Pittsburgh. However, that being said, it leaves a lot to be desired when videos like that go out into the universe and people are watching that and commenting on that. We didn't have that platform where people can see us, live and in action 3 weeks before a show, but it definitely wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look at all. And Dallas, even if he goes to Columbus, now that Jocelyn Arkowitz has walked away, or actually is not out in the competition, he's got some issues with family, a sick relative. If Cedric McMillan shows an off, where arguably I had Dallas beating Cedric at the Mr. Olympia, so this could happen. But again, I regress. Cedric could have won the Arnold Classic last year if it was over after prejudging, which meant he would have beaten Kai Green. But Kai Green made such a dramatic transformation that he held off Cedric at the Arnold Classic last year, and he was relegated to second or first runner-up. Dallas is the guy that can actually beat Cedric. If Cedric doesn't show up right, Dallas is right for winning this competition. And it doesn't erase what we saw, though. I mean, guys, my take on this is, if you take your shirt off and you're going to hit poses and you're going to put a camera out there, you better be tanned, shaved, and ready to do the business of bodybuilding, or take the heat and the criticism that comes along with it. Be ready. Practice your posing. Work on those mandatories. Control your breathing. Control your stomach. And do the things that are necessary to look like a professional bodybuilder, to say the least. Kids are watching. And better yet, Jim Mannion is watching. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger has been saying for the last several years that he is watching.